Rick Wilson.
Hello, wartime friend.
We shouldn't laugh because I think people are gonna die for
Several
seemingly
have
no
today,
reason.
sadly.
What?
Several have today. Several Americans
Yeah,
have died.
3, yeah. Since last week, we have a number of really fucked up things have happened. First of all, a lot of stuff happened with the Epstein files, and then Trump did the State of the Union, and
And
then
somehow we changed our topic of conversation. I wonder why we
right,
did that.
and then Saturday morning, Trump bombed Iran,
You know,
just to
I'm
get
not
people up to speed.
I'm not gonna say that anything should surprise any of us anymore, but I talked to a lot of people who were surprised. They're like, "Why would he do that? His own base is gonna hate it."
And
And
the Italian defense minister was in Dubai. So, like, he didn't give anyone a heads up about this.
no one. And I will say, a class of people that were in Dubai that I think we are all underestimating the trauma they have suffered are influencers. They have been absolutely unable to get a good table this entire weekend,
Yeah.
and many of them have seen missiles for the first time. So,
Yet you thought you were just not gonna have to pay taxes, but
right,
really, it
but
turns
you really
out
might be under a drone strike.
yeah. So, let's talk about this. They hit a bunch of things, including a school.
Yep.
Talk us through this.
Let's say this. First off, although Pete Hegseth described this as the most meticulously planned bombing campaign of all time, it is large in scope. It has done some damage to the Iranian regime. It's obviously killed off a bunch of really bad, shitty people that no one regrets seeing,
Yeah,
turned
they
into
managed
small turned it
to
no one regrets seeing them turn into smaller bits of themselves. But I don't know yet whether the strikes whether air power alone will have a sufficient amount of ability to undo a country with a secret police force with 2 million people in it, in a country of 95 million people. You can't kill 2 million people with air power. Well, you could, but it would be like the hot stuff.
I also think that they've killed a lot of civilians.
They've killed a good number of civilians, and that is including one thing that is alleged to be, and I think it validated by now, a school, a
Yeah.
girls' school. But I will say, this is not a day that I think America will look back on and say, "Wow, that was over and done that one day. He solved
Yeah.
the problem of Iran." Now it's a liberal Western democracy. At the time, back in 2009, when the first Iranian Green Revolution occurred, I was very unhappy with the way the Obama administration didn't seem to respond to the young protesters. And Trump did the same thing a few months ago. But when Obama realized something then that Trump doesn't understand now, the Iranian system is so much more embedded throughout its culture and society than, say, the Iraqi system was. Iraq was just a plain old dictatorship. This is a country that has been wired to oppress its people with a gigantic secret police force and all these thug outfits like the Basij for 47 years. It is not going to be as easy as we would like it to be for Iran. And look, I actually love Iranians. They are an educated people. They're a warm people. I think that Iran has suffered long enough, but I don't think we're going to deliver Western democracy to them through a series of targeted airstrikes with JDAMs. I don't think that's how it's going to work.
One of the things that I was struck by is, well, this administration is lying when they give you a number of different reasons for things.
Oh yeah,
So they said, we're doing it because of the protests. We're doing it because of Iran and the nukes.
the usual. Iran will have nukes in two hours and
To
17 minutes.
right,
Okay,
and then right, they said, "It's a bad regime, it oppresses people." Like, you are trying to oppress people. Like,
Yeah, look, if they're unhappy about things that are oppressive, they've done a copy paste on a lot of the shit that the Basij and the Iranian
right.
secret police does to its own people
I
here
mean,
with
start
ICE.
in Minnesota, man,
Right.
like, I mean, that was always the whole thing with Trump with his, like, "I'm bringing peace to all these different countries," was that by the way,
It
it
was
was a
always
very
bullshit anyway. I mean, come
yes.
on. None of this, none of the, and I do think that the cognitive dissonance inside the right, it is broad. I don't know how deep it runs yet because look, every time the MAGAs say, "Oh, I believe that Trump is right about X," and Trump says, "Nope, I changed my mind on X." They're like, "No, Trump was always for Y."
Right.
What are you talking about? So I saw a lot of the social media feeds were like, No, this isn't like a forever war like with Bush or for the neocons or for the Jews. This
Right.
is Trump being brilliant. 74-dimensional chess.
Well,
Fuck out of here.
Trump just told the Daily Mail that this will take 4 weeks. And if you think about Trump math, 2 weeks is his
Okay.
standard,
2 weeks is the
right?
standard lie.
So
Okay.
if he's saying 4 weeks, that means I think we're in another forever war.
Listen,
Like,
Molly, I will say this. I will say this as an OG neocon with a
yeah,
specialty in forever wars. If you think that we're going to be done in 4 weeks, done and dusted, out the door, headed home for a victory parade, I regret to inform you that is not how this shit works, Donald. At
yeah,
all. And again, you saw Tom Cotton sort of slip a little bit today. He's like, well, there won't be a significant ground force. Oh, really? There won't be a significant ground force. What does that mean? Does
yeah,
that mean there's going to be a ground force? It certainly seems like it. And
yeah.
if you think that you can do regime change without people on the ground, show me a fucking example anywhere.
Well, but I mean, I also want to say, and again, I'm not complimenting your old boss, but he had a plan, right? I mean, it may not have worked, but he had a plan. Trump doesn't even have a plan.
Look, say what you will about the Bush era and our various misadventures in the Middle East. There was a plan. It
Right,
did not work.
right. But there was a plan.
Okay. This is absolutely being made up on the fly. This is absolutely being made up out of whole cloth. I mean, people who thought Paul Bremer was a terrible regent
Yeah.
for Iraq, wait until Jared Kushner becomes the regent or Marco becomes the regent for the Iranians. And I will say this, there's a thing on the right, and Bannon's part of it. There's this whole Pahlavi network where they're going to try to put Reza Pahlavi back in as king. Now, look, there is a part of the Iranian culture that still loves the Pahlavis. It's like there are parts of the British culture that will always love the Windsors,
Right.
except for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Right. Exactly.
But trying to convert a theocracy struggling with its own identity
Right.
into a monarchy so that Donald Trump's friends who like Reza Pahlavi are happy, it just smells like a real disaster in the making to me. And look, Molly, here's the thing. I want to be, I told people this yesterday on a video I did, but I want to make really clear to all our listeners nobody's defending the Iranian regime. Don't let
Right.
the right wingers
Right.
pretend that, oh, you must favor the mullahs. Get the
No,
fuck out of here. It's
but
it's
it's a
absurd how they're
it's a
playing it.
it's a cheap trick that people do. So Lindsay said
Would that be
that
Lady Lindsay
I
of Charleston?
I'm just going to ignore that because it's
Yeah.
not. He said that our goal is to make sure that Iran cannot become again the largest state sponsor of terrorism. And then Kristen Welker says, does the president have a plan to guarantee that happens? And Graham says, no,
No.
that's not his job. What is his job then?
I don't know, because while the bombs were dropping, he was in there doing the double hand job dance in the ballroom, you
Right.
know? And he didn't he hasn't had the courtesy for the families of those soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who are out there on the front line right now in the Gulf to even sit down and do a live broadcast to the country outlining and explaining what is going on and why he did it. I find that to be a truly insulting aspect of this.
And let's talk
Yeah.
about that for a minute because with the Iraq war, the first one, they did try. I mean, the first one was Kuwait, and they
Right.
did sell that Kuwait was, a friend of ours. They've turned out to be great partners.
Well,
Just
and
kidding.
look,
But
here's the thing.
they made a case, right?
There was an international case. We had a
Right.
coalition of 67 nations who all came to
No.
us and said, "We're with you."
Yes.
Saddam invaded a
Yes.
basically helpless or a helpless neighbor. We made a case. We had a bounded, restricted set of goals,
For sure.
and when we were done, we were done.
Yes.
Look, we could have chased the Republican Second Guards Division right up Highway 1 right to Baghdad. We
Yes.
had rolled their entire military up. We had killed them like it was our fucking job.
Yes.
And we could have easily moved up there to Baghdad, and then we would have had the same thing that happened to us in 2004, 5, and 6,
Yes.
because imperial overreach is a bad look and it's hard. And I want to say this again to people. People need to think about this. Iraq is a country of about 10 million people, well, maybe a little bigger than that. But Iran is 95 million people. It's a
So it's
huge huge
10
fucking
times the
country.
size.
It's bigger than Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nevada. It's a gigantic country. There are a lot of people there who are
Mhm.
very invested in this fucking horrible, oppressive, theocratic nightmare system. Are we ready to go in? And again, if you tally all those things up, like the Besiege and all these other ancillary groups that are part of the mullahs, the religious police, all that shit, it's a couple of million people. Are we ready to go in there and kill them all?
Right.
Because
Well,
they'll keep coming if we don't.
we are not in coming from a place of strength. Like 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump was going to war with Greenland and was gonna dissolve NATO. Now we have decided to go. I mean, this reporting from the I want you to talk about this reporting from the Washington
Yep.
Post. And then I also think, like, the fact that this is being negotiated by Jared and Witkoff, but 2 people who have no training, who have vested interests in the region, who are making money off of this. I
Correct.
mean, that and then also, and I want you to talk about this as a coup de grace, is that the Saudis, there's reporting out of the Washington Post that the Saudis were actually, that Mohammed bin Salman was
Yes. Look,
calling
the
Trump and
Saudis got
telling
what
him
they
to do
paid
it.
for. They paid for Jared Kushner. They bought him because he's a whore. They bought Jared Kushner years ago. He's for sale.
Right.
And the fact that Trump also believes the Saudis are a money funnel for him in the future because they are rich and because they are royal and because they have an internal secret police that squashes all dissent. Trump loves all that stuff. So what happened here was the legitimate security interests of the Saudi government,
Right.
which Iran was a bad actor in the Gulf. Okay, now, I'm not saying the Saudis are like innocent little angels, but compared to the Iranians, they're sort of just generically bad guys. But the Saudis have the military weight. They've bought enough technology. They've bought enough military power over the years. They could have posted up and done something about this, but they didn't. They wanted us to do it. So they used us by getting Jared. MBS got on the phone with Jared and said, we'll give you whatever. And then Jared went back to Trump and says, yeah, MBS wants it. Netanyahu wants it. So let's do it.
Right.
You know, Molly, I don't know about if you've thought about this much, but somebody in Israel the other day, a friend of mine in Israel said to me, he goes, there's only one upside to the end of this war with Iran. They're killing all the mullahs. I'm like, what's that? He goes, Bibi doesn't have a bad guy anymore.
Yeah. Maybe. Who
Maybe. I don't
BBS,
know.
I mean, he's done a
Bibi's got
lot
a
of
fucking
stuff
superpower and it's called
to
power.
right, to stay, but he did say the thing that I think is a little bit interesting about BB is that he did say Donald Trump did this for us, which, if you're Donald Trump, that is not what you want, right? You do not
Correct.
want to.
No, you do not want that. You want Trump to have been like, this came from my goals, my
Right.
brain.
So
Um,
we're like a little more than 24 hours out from this, and already we have Mohammed bin Salman and Bibi Netanyahu
yep.
saying he did it for us, which I think is a bad look in MAGA world.
There is a split inside of MAGA world over this action because they were all promised no more foreign wars, not just no more
Right.
forever wars, no
Yeah.
wars. Remember, they ran ads and saying they were the peace party. He was going to be
Yeah.
the peace
Peace
president.
ticket. Yeah.
That split is real inside the
Yeah.
GOP. There's a subset of that with the in the anti rising and powerful anti-Semitic movement in the GOP, in the MAGA
Yeah.
GOP, particularly young men 18 to 30. They are furious that we did this for Netanyahu, and we did.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
mean,
wrong that we did this for Bibi Netanyahu.
I'm a Jew, so I don't think of myself as anti-Semitic, but I am also furious. Like, I don't understand what Israel has to do with American foreign policy.
You know, this is a country that has for a long time played a central role with both parties in this nation. They have purchased and been given a peerless military that is more than capable of defending itself. And yet, we have just expended, by a rough estimate that I got from somebody today, a half a trillion dollars worth of ammunition and weapons and missiles in the
Right.
last couple of days. We shot off something like a third of all of our cruise missiles that we have complete in the inventory. This
Yeah.
is nuts. This is
Yeah.
crazy. And again, Israel, a nation where the people have been under significant terrorist threat for since its inception. They do not deserve to be the targets of the kind of things that Hezbollah and Hamas and Iran have done for a generation. But They also don't deserve to have us carry all the water in a
Right.
war like this. And that's what we're doing. Yes, Israeli jets are on the front line now, but that's because the US came in and wiped out the entire Iranian air defense system and shot down all their planes and whacked all of their runways and beat up all of their radar systems. Look, are Israelis flying missions as well? Sure they are. But it will inevitably be American boys and girls who take the brunt of casualties if this thing continues.
Yeah, I want to talk about this polling for a minute. So, we've seen the first polls from this. Remember,
Yep.
this was something that Trump campaigned on not doing. It was something that has been wildly unpopular. And so, how popular is it?
Not very popular.
27% approve, 43% disapprove. That's slightly worse than the strikes in June, which Donald Trump considered to be a huge success, which were 36 to
Right.
45. GOP support went from 69% in June to
Mhm.
55% today.
Molly, I will tell you that something I've learned having done a couple of these things now. Your best day of polling in a war is the first day.
Yeah,
It never gets
that's
better,
that's
no matter
right.
what. Even if you're winning, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
and look, we've had 3 American soldiers killed so far. We've had 5 others wounded that I know of as of the time we're taping this.
Right.
That number will probably go up.
Yeah.
And as that number goes up, you are going to see people, I think, left and right, become even more disillusioned by this. And again, I want to go back to this one more time because this is not a choice between supporting the mullahs
Right.
and the ayatollahs or a free and democratic Iran.
Right.
It is a choice between right now for us of what we're going to do to make sure that what happens next isn't chaos and destruction and more American casualties and frankly a collapse of the world economy. If they close the straits once and for all, we're in a $100 a barrel oil situation again. And
Yeah.
good luck good
Yeah.
luck with that economy, Donald. After that point,
Well, and the other thing is that, he's canceled all these green energy projects.
yeah,
So you are making it so that the only that, China has a lot of green energy projects. They didn't cancel them because they didn't think it was too woke.
because they're not stupid.
Yeah.
By the way, the other thing about Saudi Arabia and MBS here, the giant beneficiary of
More
knocking the
expensive
Iranians
oil.
apart is more expensive oil. That's great for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And
That's
Russia.
amazing for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Rick Wilson,
Molly Jong-Fast,
will you come back?
you know I will.